Here we go. From beginning. There you go. Hi guys, I'm Beau Harring. My presentation today is about NFL players and they should be allowed to use steroids. Some of the reasons they should is recovery times, competitive fairness, clean lifestyles, avoiding long-term damages, and then as well as older legends. These are some of the things we're going to dive into today. Starting up, imagine waking up in the morning with the soreness of a car crash. Your knees are screaming, your spine's hurting, your brain can't control your thoughts, and then you're being told that you can't use the nearest and newest medical advancements in order to help heal and play longer. That's the same feeling that these NFL guys are feeling every single day. NFL players should be allowed to use performance enhancing steroids under medical supervision in order to recover more safely, extend their careers, and promote fairness throughout one of the most demanding sports in the world. My name is Beau Harring, and I followed the NFL closely for years and researched the medical uses of steroids and the ins and outs. I believe the league's current drug policy is not only just outdated, however, it's harmful to the future lives and careers of the athletes we celebrate on every Sunday. Today, we are going to look at the physical toll football takes, and then we're going to examine the steroid usage and its help for these athletes. And then we'll respond to a concern and envision a future good, better we can put out for those. Here we go. Needs and problems. Some of the things on here I have concussion, broken bones, muscle tears, less effective recovery, and risky drug taking. The obvious, the NFL is one of the most violent and high impact sports on the planet. I mean, this can go for every sport, but the NFL is the one that we're diving deeper into today. Players are suffering injuries from an alarming rate. I mean, 50% of the NFL teams last year were missing their starting quarterback 9 weeks in. However, when these injuries happen, athletes are limited to slower and less effective recovery treatments. For example, ice baths, dry needling, limited pain management that can only go so far. However, what's worse is that many players are desperate to stay on the field and protect their livelihoods and their names. I mean, fantasy football gets very serious out here. So they're going to these black market steroids and these sketchy supplements, and they're taking risks without any oversight or safety because as soon as they tell someone, they're legally obligated. Therefore, the system is not protecting NFL athletes, but at least if steroids were supervised properly, it could be a step towards safety. This could be a step towards safety and protecting the NFL athletes. Going into solutions. What's going to be the solution today? We allow controlled medical supervised use of these performance enhancing steroids, however, for injury recovery. Therefore, a team of doctors would be able to monitor these dosages, timings. The goal wouldn't be to boost strengths or make anyone Superman. However, it would be to promote a faster and safer healing and reduce these damages. Therefore, imagine getting hurt mid-season and halfway through the season, you're ready to go. You're ready right back for playoffs, but ready to come back in. And although opponents may argue that steroids are very unfair and a spirit of the game, but what's more unfair is an athlete who has to retire at 25 because they can't access proper medical recovery, or an athlete that recovers safely and clean under a doctor's supervision. I mean, there's no back and forth. Steroids, however, when used irresponsible, can be dangerous, but when they're used under strict oversight and under someone with the proper knowledge watching, they can be used for necessary good. Now, if we dig into the visualization here, visualize a player tearing their muscle mid-season, preferably hamstring, depends what you feel. And instead of being sidelined for a year, these athletes get to follow a doctor-approved steroid protocol that can bring them back right in time. And deepening this, if these big injuries aren't happening so often with the use of steroids, you're going to be able to see these older legends playing for years. I mean, Tom Brady might still be throwing the football right now instead of announcing football games. But because they're not cheating, but because science helped them back and maintain their peak performance. Therefore, envisioning a league that leads in player safety, not through punishment, but however, advancement. A league that's going to value the health and future of its players more than its outdated reputation. The NFL is allowed to evolve, and it should if we really care about the players. Thank you guys for listening to my speech, and now I want you guys to ask what's going to come next. I believe we should push for reform in the NFL's drug policy. We should start supporting research and demanding honest discussion, and most importantly, advocating for our athletes' health. Because steroids aren't always about cheating, however, they're about healing. And if we have the means to help these players recover, play longer, and live better lives after football, then we have a responsibility to act. It's time the NFL chooses healing. All of my information today was cited from A, my brain, two NFL websites, three doctor research, and lastly, the communication principles for a lifetime in 2022 textbook. Thank you.